So my name is Joanne Smith. I work for Bishop Bewick Catholic Education Trust, and we are based in Newcastle, and I am the HR lead. Challenges we faced, I think, was to having paper applications. Because we're a Catholic trust, we're very tied to specific things that we have to ask for, and everything was on a paper application form, which people found quite hard to navigate through. They couldn't just save something and come back to it. It was quite a long process, and it would put people off applying for a job because the applications were really long and there was lots of different forms that you would have to send with the application form. It wasn't just an application form, there's lots of different documents that you would have to send with it. So yes, obviously, for the Catholic Education Services, we have to have we couldn't just use anybody. So I think you were one of the first to be approved by them to be able to go online. We couldn't really use anybody else other than somebody who was approved by the CES because of the legislation and because of the criteria that we have to have. There's lots of different providers now on there. We had a couple of meetings with different people, but because everybody was just so helpful, knowledgeable as well, and knew exactly what we were talking about and what we needed and what we wanted. Whenever we wanted to speak about anything or ask anything, there was always somebody there to answer the question for us. Obviously, you have like a dedicated account manager who was absolutely superb. Everything that we needed, everything that we done, she did training sessions. She did training sessions with our school. She did training sessions with just the trust to start with. The onboarding process was really, really smooth, to be honest. Yeah, absolutely smooth as anything. We've got 39 schools within our trust, and we can see every vacancy that goes on, and we can see every applicant that applies, which is really good. So we can see the calibre of people coming through. We can see how many people are applying for jobs. We can see if the jobs are on correct. They've got the job advert on with the correct salaries and all of the features that should be there, all of the benefits of working for Bishop Bewick Trust. On a school level basis, so like putting a vacancy on, very straightforward putting a vacancy on, and it is so much easier than previous having to do a vacancy. Obviously, you have the templates there which you can pre-use and just tweak and change. Everybody is quite impressed with it, really. On the system, we had some documents put on, so notes to applicants when they're applying. So when they're applying, they can read it. That's always there, so you don't need to add that anymore. There's a document about being a practicing Catholic. What is a practicing Catholic? That's on there, so you can toggle that on or off. So if it's a vacancy that you need to be a practicing Catholic, you can toggle that on, so then it comes up on the system. I mean, it's brilliant. It has everything in, sort of everything from keeping children safe in education, which we have to abide by, the rules, the Disability Act, rehabilitation, all of the disqualification, everything like that now is all in one place rather than all on these separate forms, which just makes basically applicants' life a lot easier as well to complete. So when we put a vacancy on as well, saving a lot of time, is that we would have to put them all on separately onto different job boards. So we would have to put them onto the DFA, have to put them onto Jobs North East, we'd have to put them onto TES. So now with the system, you can click on to say that you want it advertised onto Jobs North East, and the account manager does that for you, which is brilliant because it then saves our time of having to put the job advert on, add all the documents on again. Now all we do is literally put the job on, and then you do all the work behind. So it's such a time saver. We used to have to chase references, or the schools would be chasing references. Now the system automatically does that. The reporting is brilliant. You can see, age, nationality, you can see all sorts of things on the reporting. It's definitely increased applications because it's a much easier process to go through. So when people would apply generally, you would not get the application come through because they'd see all these forms, all these bits of paper, and think, oh, I'm not doing all of that. It's too much. Now it's in such a simpler format. and they can save it and come back, even down to putting who your references are. It's just so much simpler for people. I would definitely recommend to others. I mean, we look forward to continuing working with yourselves and for all of our recruitment needs throughout our 39 schools. You know, it's like having another member of staff, not sitting in your office, but in your team. I feel as if we've got such a good working relationship. You are invested in us as much as what we're invested in you.